that at a point of the page where I covered most of the thing, but I'm probably not done yet, but I don't know where to go. So you see this one, I will probably use Tacky Glue if it doesn't glue well. Maybe I can, I wanted to put this, let me see. Sometimes while I'm talking I have another idea. Yes, I'm just going to add this here, but then I will stop with this page at least. Oh, if only it could rain. It's so hot. I don't know if you hear, I have a fan working, it makes some noise. But I really need my fan, otherwise I'm dying, it's too hot. Okay, so basically I'm done with this page for the collage part. I mean, I'm not done with the paint, I'm not done. Maybe I will do some stenciling, some layering, some writing, some, I don't know. First it needs to glue, to dry. And yeah, I will probably use Tacky Glue here. I will try like that, but if it doesn't work, the difficulty here is that the ink was smudging. You know, it's not waterproof, but it's kind of okay. Oh, my fingers are gluing. That is crayons, colored crayon, and obviously they don't smudge with the glue, so that's good to know. And here it's going to be longer to dry because it's in between layers. There is some kind of plastic paper here, which is it's not plastic, it's kind of cellophane. You know, it's like for the envelope, the window, but still it will take a little more time to dry. So that is a drawing that I made on an envelope while I was on phone talking with someone. I like to doodle while I'm talking on phone because I don't like talking so much on phone, and it relaxes me to do that. And sometimes I need to talk on phone. I can tell people goodbye, I don't want to talk to you, especially when we have important things to say. Anyway, I'm going to tackle the second page here, which is going to be completely different. Here I'm going to glue some tea bags, and I put a coat of gesso, because white gesso, not clear or black gesso, white gesso, because I want to see exactly the color of the tea bags, the different nuances. If I hadn't put the white gesso, we would have the color of the page, which is kind of brownish. I will show you. Usually it's like that. So the tea bag is not going to really appear on that because it's darker than the tea bag. So I wanted to start on a completely neutral white background to really see the color of the tea bags and the different nuances. I'm obviously fighting with cat's hair. Usually I have cat's hair in my house, but especially right now because it's very hot and it's their way of sweating. I have 3 cats in my house. They are not all mine. I only own one, but the 2 others are my sons. Actually, one is my son's and the other one is my son's girlfriend's cat. So it's very hot. They are kind of sweating, and their way of sweating is to lose hair. And I have hair everywhere and it comes in the glue, so I must be really very careful about that. I don't see right now here, but sometimes I don't see in person, and when I watch what I've been filming, I see some cat's hair. So if it's the case here, I'm sorry about that. It's a part of the human mistakes, let's say. runny because the paper is really very thin, and if I use the glue too thick, it's going to tear up the paper and it's not going to work really well. So that is why I try to use the glue as runny as possible. Of course, the page is not going to stay flat. In anyway, every time you use some paint or glue with water-based, your page is going to become a little wavy, but that's okay, because once you put it flat by closing the journal, it becomes flatter, and also once you paint on the other side, it kind of put the things in place back again, more or less. But don't expect to have a notebook, a journal perfectly flat. That won't happen unless you iron it. But please don't set your house in fire. I don't think it's really necessary to do that. I actually like the wavy papers. I hope I will have enough to cover the whole page. If I don't, oh well, there is always a solution. Obviously, I must drink more black tea because these are not very colored. I was with it was probably maybe not green tea. I don't know what I was drinking. It was with fruits in it, raspberry or I don't know what, and obviously it's not very dark. I bought some Earl Grey for the morning because I love that, and it's black tea, so hopefully in the future I will have darker papers. I must choose my taste in matter of drinking tea according to the craft. Yeah, I'm afraid that I'm not going to have enough. I must drink more tea. No, it's just that I don't think always of keeping the paper bag, as you can imagine. It's not in my priorities in life, obviously, but I must think about it. Some of them are really torn or not perfectly flat. Never mind, because it's so thin that it's not going to create some thickness or anything. It's okay, you know. I think it's really nice. My cat agrees with me. Better that he's laying on my feet than in the glue. We would have a page covered with cat hair. He's black. We couldn't miss the hair, you know. Okay. So I've used up all my tea bags that I kept. I thought that I had a lot. Oh, it remained glued on my finger. I thought that I had a lot, but actually it's not a lot. So good to know. Good to know. So I kept more kind of papers which could fit with that, just in case, and obviously I was right. So as we are in the tea style, I kept this. That is not really a tea, it's kind of, yes, it is a tea, but more tea, supposed to make you lose weight. Well, you see, supposed to make you lose weight. Well, it doesn't, but it's good to drink. I'm not paid by this brand to talk about it, I decide. So this is a very nice paper that I kept. It was packing soap, and I really liked this paper. That's why I kept it. Maybe I will do something like that. So this paper is much thicker. I don't like a lot the fact that it's so straight here. Oh my god, it's so thick. It's impossible to cut. Never saw a paper. Oh, it's because there is some plastic included in it. That's why. Okay, I'm not going to spend my day on that. So I had to make it very wet because this paper is so thick and it was a little wavy. So to make it flat as possible, you add a little water in your glue on your brush, so it makes it more wet and it's easier to glue. And this one, it's a vintage wallpaper that I absolutely love. And yeah, I think it's going to go here. I don't like the fact that it's perfectly straight on the right, but well, this paper is so beautiful that I don't want to, I want to spare every piece I can. It's a vintage wallpaper, English one from the 50s. So beautiful. And that was around the soap too. Have a look on the paper. For example, if you go to Anthropologie, which is a store that I like a lot, it's unfortunately always too expensive for me, but I like to look because it's very inspiring. And but sometimes the soaps are not too expensive, and I bought a lot of soaps there. And I always keep the papers around the soaps. They are often made in France, and I really like the French soaps. We are at least good at that. Not only at that, I exaggerate. I shouldn't be so mean to the French people. They are good at many things. This is just an Indian paper, craft paper. It's easy, you go in an art and craft store and you will find this kind of papers. This is another soap paper. So if you go to Anthropologie, have a look to their soap and to on the packaging, because then if you, I'm not working for Anthropologie and I'm not making advertising for them. But just keep in mind that, for example, if you buy at Anthropologie a soap which would cost, for example, $6 or $7, you think, wow, it's very expensive for a soap. Well, I've not been there in a while, so maybe they are more expensive now. But keep in mind that it's not only a soap, it's also some paper to glue in your craft. So it's kind of, maybe it's worth the purchase. If you can, of course, if you can afford it. And I can perfectly be in your shoes because I can't always afford that. Sometimes I think, okay, there are maybe more urgent things to buy than that. That I don't know. I think it was a craft paper. It's really something remaining. No, I'm not so sure about that. I found another piece of tea bag that I had that I didn't see. It's so thin that I don't see them. They fly away everywhere with the fan. Sorry, I'm sneezing a little. My nose is running, probably because of the fan. I found this lamp that I find especially beautiful, and I like the fact that it has a little of the tea bag color. It has a tea color. In a magazine. It's something that I cut from a magazine. That is not perfect, but well, we have to cope with it. And yes, maybe I'm going to do that. So I've not been doing journaling during I don't know, 12 years, something like that, 11, 12 years, and now I am kind of doing that by a consistent way, I would say, because I'm a little nervous right now regarding my future and my son's future. But the fact of gluing stuff, it's relaxing. Oh, you see, that is dangerous. Like that. Less risky. So I have no idea where I go. I don't know what this page is about. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but you know, journaling, it's about layering, so that is not completely done. I will build above that. However, it really needs to dry because it's very wet. This one is, 1 second, I must close my glue before one of my cat pours it everywhere. Anyway, this one is almost glued, almost dry. I will wait that it's completely dry, and I will put some tacky glue to glue that better, and then maybe another day I will continue on these pages. They are not finished, it's just the beginning, but I like how this one started. The tea bags are very interesting to glue. good to know, because it's when you drink some tea, it's free. You know, you drink some tea, you keep the tea bag or not. I mean, you don't keep the leaves, you throw the leaves, you just keep the paper, of course. Otherwise, your house is going to become a true trash. Yes, I wanted to show you these two. So that was a soap box that I covered with newspaper in front of you, I think, in a video. I made a bigger one, and I drew this woman on it with some acrylic paint, some markers, color markers, white marker, and also black marker, and I made some collages on the other side. So exactly the same principle as I did here. There are several coats, so you can see in the transparency the different papers. This is Chinese or Japanese, I don't remember. No, I think it's a Chinese paper. I'm sorry if I make a mistake, I'm not very good at making the difference. I think it's a Chinese paper that I have. That was on a soap, but I like the bird, so I kept this particular piece. And on the side, that is origami paper. That was a paper, a packaging of sticks, you know, in the Chinese restaurant. So I continued the hair of the girl here. More collages here, more collages here. You see, that is one of my teas. And on the top, that is, yes, that is Chinese or Japanese. Oh, once again, I don't know. I'm really sorry. Anyway, I like the aspect of these letters, so for me it's very abstract but still beautiful. It's kind of like a painting. You can just put it like that on a table, and if you don't like this side, you can put this side. But you can also glue a hook on the side you like the less, maybe, or maybe a ribbon with a hook here to hang it on the wall. But you know, it was just to try. I'm not saying it's a piece of art and that I'm going to be in a museum with that, but it was fun to do. Anyway, you don't do art to be in a museum. I'm sorry for the state of my hands, but they are full of glue. It goes away underwater. It takes some time to remove everything, but well, I just wanted to show you this too. That was a lampshade. The lamp broke, but I kept the paper of the shade, and it's a perfect stencil. Actually, I'm wondering if I'm not going to try something here. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly how I do my stencil, but I will do a more elaborate video about that. It's just to show you quickly. So I have a piece of cardboard like that. I put a little paint, no water with it, chiefly, no water. Then look, these brushes are brushes to make stencil. Brushes made specifically for stencil. However, I have this brush which is made actually to glue, but I really like that for stencils too. And my brush is dry, very important. I take a little paint, not much, little. Imagine you are making some makeup on your face. You are not going to put a lot of makeup on your face unless you want to look ridiculous. So you don't want to look like a clown, you don't want your page to look like a clown. So I take a little and I remove the excess. It must be just a little, barely, you know. And then I hold my stencil in place and I just do this. Of course, I must go back because at a point you have no much paint left on your brush. You can also do this, but be careful, the paint can go underneath and maybe it's not going to be perfect. That's why the stamping method like this is less risky and more appropriate. The color is gold that I chose, so maybe it's not going to be very visible on the tea bag, but I want to use all what I have. If you have a flow in your stencil, it's going to be visible on your page. So it's up to you to decide, do you want to fill this hole? Yes, I do, because I like the imperfect things. Let's see. Here it is. So of course a true stencil is better, because with the humidity of the paint, the stencil here has tendency to become wavy. But that is a way to do a stencil. You can also use some non-permanent spray glue, like 3M do one with I like a lot. You put at the back, so it's going to glue better your stencil on your support, whatever the support is. But here is a good way to make stencil. Chiefly don't add water. Chiefly don't put your brush in water, and use really the smallest amount of paint. It's the best way not to ruin your stencil work on your paper. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. It's my only way to know if you want me to continue, and if you liked what I did, and if you want to know something specific, that if I know it, maybe I can do a video about it. Please give me your ideas, what you want to see. I'm very open to any suggestion. See you very soon. Sorry for my dirty hands. Bye bye. Oh, just one thing. Of course, when I finish these pages, I will show you what I did. I thought it was obvious, but maybe I must precise it. This time, bye bye.